Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk. Class X Radio. Class X Radio. 88.9 and 89.1. Boy, I almost didn't make that mistake for a long time.
You were just joking. It's Halloween. You were just,
that
was a trick.
wagon.
That was just a trick.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, dog.
Unfortunately, Sandy lived up to all the expectations. It's kind of ironic, though, isn't it? The cleanup and the reconstruction will lead to some reconstruction jobs. The NBA began last night, and we're going to report on that. Of course, we're going to cover the presidential election. I have lots of life observations to comment on, and I know Denise has at least one life observation to comment on relative to a chocolate bunny.
Oh, you need to bring that up now? You know,
I thought it was as good as time as any because I'm dying to know what the story is about the chocolate bunny.
Well, you know, being a girl, we have cravings for chocolate every now and then, and so I actually had nothing in the house. I'd eaten everything. I found a chocolate bunny, solid.
Leftover from Easter?
I couldn't break that thing. I ate the ears off of it and was able to bust the head off of it, and the rest of it I couldn't eat. How sad is that? That I was like doing. I pulled that out yesterday. The Garrett saw me. I was like, "You can beat it on the table."
So it was stale chocolate.
No, it's not stale. I'm gonna get it out. It's all that's left is just the body. You can't break it. You can't bite it because it's a solid chocolate bunny.
How long has this thing been sitting around?
The chocolate doesn't go. I mean, it takes a long time. Just since Easter. You know, what is that?
Just since Easter?
Well, when's Easter?
6-7
April.
months. Only 7 years.
May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months. Chocolate doesn't go bad, guys. How long do you keep canned goods in your fridge? It takes a while.
Different.
It takes a while. No, it isn't. It was sealed. But how sad is that? I tried to kill this poor bunny. I couldn't. I'm gonna get a hatchet, but my hatchet's in my camper. I couldn't chop the bunny up.
Well, I feel sorry for you not being able to chop up your bunny. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we are going to cover the news today, and I have an observation. And you know I like to brag about this. Far be it for me to brag. That when Barack Obama says something and no one picks up on what he says and analyzes it like I do. So yesterday and last night I watched all the late night talk show hosts, and none of them.
You stayed up that late.
Yeah, none of them's going to comment on what I'm going to comment. And I want everybody to know that our studio is getting there, baby. It's starting to feel comfy. We now have our Class X New Breed of Rock banner up. We got the Bulldog Nation banner up. We've got our Johnny Cash middle finger banner poster up. We got Bruce. See, this kind of tells you what we're about. All right, AC/DC, Bruce Springsteen, Johnny Cash, Clint Eastwood, Teddy Roosevelt, Lincoln, Reagan, Led Zeppelin. That's
You know
what we're
what's
about.
missing?
What's missing?
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, hey, what about that Matthew McConaughey poster? I'm authorizing the purchase for
We're
Denise.
still looking for
Hey, Matthew McConaughey. Oh, we're still looking for a Matthew
Yeah, we're trying to
You know
find
what? Good for Matthew McConaughey that he doesn't do a poster.
You can sell out and have some.
And I want to show this. And I want to show this. Those of you that are just tuning in and know that we do a video, simulcast, and podcast, I am showing up. I am putting up to the video camera the two. You didn't stick around for the contest winners, did you?
No.
The two sexiest. I couldn't vote against either one of these gals. The girl on the right is, we just kept, apparently she's like an airline captain, but we called her the Russian woman because she looked like her, we just figured she was a Russian supermodel. Becky Kinman from lawreader.com.
Well, those
And
are
the
just-
one on the left is Nurse Brandy. Brandy,
Well, you need to hold it for the camera, and you need to quit looking at it.
but anyway, Brandy's outfit was incredible too, and I couldn't pick between the two of them. And they took this picture of me after they won. They asked for the picture. God only knows what they're doing of this picture of me. Yeah. But I'm going to get this photograph quality so we can post it. But until then, I'm going to just fold this up and carry it around with me to show all my closest friends.
I was going to say, though, you know, that is.
What do you think, Garrett? That's what you missed there, buddy.
That's a good thing.
And this was just a sampling. That was just a sampling.
You would have a problem.
But they were the winners.
You would have a problem if, I don't know, all those chicks always wear. I don't know. You don't have a problem looking at that, do you? See, I can't even talk.
Why is the live stream down?
Where I
Yeah,
don't
It's
know.
the website.
But you know
Something
what?
wrong with the website. We can't.
What website?
Livestream.com.
Livestream.com. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I apologize. It's not making me happy. I like to have a perfect show.
Don't worry about it. You're not missing much in the picture. Just chicks in sexy Halloween costumes.
Mm-hmm.
What
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
not
deal?
missing
No, wait a
much.
minute. I want to know
Let's just
who.
tease them some more, Denise.
Excuse me. Who voted? Who voted for this? Because there were a lot of really good costumes.
It was audience participation, and trust me, those two won.
So basically, exposed legs and sexy costumes are always going to be the winners. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
No, well, we had different contests. Sexiest, there was most creative, there was cutest, there was nice best couple.
Well, where's the rest of the picture?
Hey, we should have had.
Sexiest is the most popular.
If you would have stuck around, we had mother-daughter, best mother-daughter.
Well, she wouldn't dress like me, and I didn't want to wear a Catwoman suit.
It's like the sexiest is kind of like women like winning the Grammy for like Song of the Year or something. It's like the big award.
The big award, the
Yeah.
sexiest. What about the guys? Did they fail at that? I'm able to bust this chocolate bunny up, by the way.
She's
Off.
really working hard on it.
Yeah. You know, but it's
My God, they look good.
the chocolate bunny. Oh, you mean the costumes? Right.
You have a traffic report?
No, not yet.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury in 834, this was called the first All Hallows Eve Halloween, observed to honor the saints. How do you like that? 1888, John Boyd Dunlap patented the bicycle tire. 1913, the first U.S. paved coast-to-coast highway, the Lincoln Highway, is dedicated. 1949, Mount Rushmore is completed. 1968, President Johnson ordered a halt to bombing in North Vietnam, and the whole Vietnam War cost old Johnson the chance to run for re-election. Do you know that, Garrett? Did you know that that cost him?
Absolutely.
I tell you right now. There might be a clip there,
I
Garrett.
was thinking.
I don't know that we have a. Do we have a clip on that, Jake? What's it?
Yeah, I think
Johnson?
there's a clip called Johnson. Well, I don't see it here. It's supposed to be. Jake was supposed to get it. Jake, you're
got
fired.
a lot.
Mike Zimmerman comes back to do the video. You're done. First Monday night football game. Colts beat Denver 55-23. And when we come back after this beautiful song, we'll have your famous birthdays and today's special days, including the fact that it's Halloween. And this is Jimi Hendrix all along the Watchtower.
Oh, I thought we were
Huh?
I thought we were doing the Led Zeppelin I gave you. Or did you want All Along the Watchtower first?
You can do Led Zeppelin.
You know
Sorry with
what's
me. All right. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Happy Halloween.
Yep.
Is there a traffic report, please?
There is a traffic report. Now, if I can get, there we go. Trying to get the computer to work for us this morning. On 275 eastbound at northbound 7175 at 275 eastbound, right there in Erlanger. At that ramp, there is an accident reported there in Erlanger, so you just need to watch for that. The rest of the traffic's still pretty light out there as far as this time in the morning goes. So, you know, we'll just keep watching and no other problems right now. So at least that's good news.
All right, we got a pretty good birthday group today. Christopher Columbus' birthday was today. So was Michael Landon of Little House on the Prairie fame. Dale Evans from television fame. And also Vanilla Ice, 45 years old today. I love this song. You like this song?
Great
Yeah,
song.
it's actually early. Were they a one-hit wonder kind of thing? Or they have a more than
I don't
hits
know.
do they
Ice
have?
is a one-hit wonder.
Ice is a one-hit wonder. But you know what? What I would give to be a one-hit wonder.
I'm not kidding.
Just one. Just one hit.
Also birthday today is Rob Schneider, Adam Sandler's little buddy. Rob Schneider.
That's a goofy dude.
That's a classic movie, old Waterboy. And Dan Rather is still with us and still around. Dan Rather, Mr. Liberal CBS anchor. Today is Carve a Pumpkin Day, imagine that.
Why would you want to carve it today, though?
I agree.
I mean,
fresh.
well, no, but Halloween's over. I mean, basically.
Increase your psychic powers day. I'm glad to report no military deaths. Today, showers and windy, high of 53, low of 38. Thursday, partly cloudy, high of 50, low of 33. Friday, partly cloudy, high of 52, low of 32. I'm telling you right now, there's no substitute for rainy weather football on Friday night. Blech, I hate it. Everybody talks about Friday night football. Rainy, cold Friday night football. You can have it. Give me October football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Bengals game. What's the weather supposed to be like on Sunday? I think I heard 50.
As long as it's clear. I don't mind the cold. I can do the cold.
Let's
rain
jackwagon up Facebook. They removed a post and suspended the account of Special Operations Speaks Pack, a group of Navy SEALs, because they posted comments that Obama denied backup for the forces being targeted in Libya. Unbelievable. Facebook sucks. Watch, it'll take me down now.
I was going to say, uh-oh, now that's not going to work.
A123 Systems, the battery maker that received $249 million grant from Obama administration and vowed to create thousands of jobs before it went bankrupt, only created 408 jobs. So we're going to jackwagon A123 up. It's a stupid name for a company anyway. Martin Bashir, MSNBC. Bashir said Romney held a campaign event dressed up as a charity drive for hurricane relief. His guest implied Romney has no heart for the American people. So we're going to jackwagon up old Martin and MSNBC. And let me just say this about Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney has raised more money and will raise more money for the storm victims from private people. You know, Barack Obama's president just doling out the taxpayer money. You know, Mitt Romney is doing something good and decent, and they freaking attack him. God, Romney has to win this election. In fact, I'm going to give Mitt Romney an oracle for holding a rally to collect donations for hurricane relief. And I will guarantee you that Romney will donate millions of his own money, or at least you watch. Romney will be writing $1 million check that he won't tell anybody about. Count on it.
Well, you know, with Obama canceling his trip today, it's you kind of wonder. Somebody I saw on Facebook last night. Somebody said, "Well, at least he's going to be working now, considering he hasn't been working for the last several months. He's been campaigning."
All he's going to do is go around and give speeches for money. And you know, I don't want to give Oracle status because it's not Oracle appropriate, but I want to give all the best to the Dietz and Tuttle families. They're the ones who lost their 3-year-old children in that bus crash in Carroll County. God bless them. God bless them. All right, here's some fun historical facts. John D. Rockefeller made his philanthropic donation at age 16 in 1855. By the time of his death in 82, he had donated $531 million. Wow. Jeez.
He had donated $531 million.
Yep. After 20 years as a faithful unpaid servant to the Duke of Windsor, formerly Edward VIII, Walter Monckton was rewarded with a cigarette case on which his name was engraved, misspelled. That's funny. Robert Moses, the planner responsible for many of New York's bridges, tunnels, and parkways, never learned how to drive a car.
Which are all now flooded.
How you like that?
That's crazy.
Hurricanes. The energy contained in a breaking ocean wave is immense. Measurements made with wave dynamometers have shown some waves striking with a force equal to a pressure of 6,000 pounds per square foot. The energy content of a 4-foot swell moving along a 100-mile front would supply power to a city the size of Seattle for almost 24 hours. Very, very interesting.
Some of those waves that were shown online or on TV were unbelievable, just with the water.
And you know, when I saw yesterday, the joke that William did was really good. And he changed it for a dumb Halloween joke, which is not going to hear the radio airwaves.
Nobody's going to get to hear it, really, because it's that bad?
It's that bad.
Oh, are you sure?
I had a great question, like a deep question. Was that yesterday or was it today? I forgot about the question that I had. It was a really good question. But I can't think of it.
You can't remember what the question was?
I can't think of it.
You didn't make a Post-it note somewhere?
I'm not going to even use the deep question. So, anyway, that's the way the world works. Useless fact for the day. I don't think it's very useless. Do you know, Garrett, why the Dutch wear wooden shoes?
because they're some about their job. What is their like main manufacturing type thing?
Well, it's because farmers, market gardeners, and so on, most time wearing wooden shoes. It's very handy to wear when you walk on dirty ground. It's also to protect yourself from sharp objects in the farmyard.
Sharp objects.
That's kind of right.
Can't get through. Yeah, have you ever
Why don't
stepped
you just-
on a nail?
Why don't you just...
Yes.
Yes, I
Gone
have.
right through my foot.
Yep.
It hurts.
I was building a
guess that-
treehouse one time. It was probably like 7th grade.
Yeah.
Stepped on a board with a nail in it.
I've done it before too, so I guess with wooden shoes that would make sense. What happens if you step in cow poop though, I guess?
Just go squish.
Spray it
Doesn't
off.
go into your toes.
Go to the well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, when we come back, we are going to have one of your favorite segments that I know you love and enjoy based upon audience feedback. Pop culture. But until then, here's some Hendrix for you, all along the Watchtower on Class X Radio.
Yeah.
Like, why they chose him, I don't know. Russell Simmons, he says the homeless people that live in New York are blank, it's terrible. He places blame on Michael Bloomberg. This from a guy who supported Occupy New York. Jeez, Pete. And some local news. The police identified the children killed in the Carrollton bus crash. Both 3-year-olds are Ryder Dietz and Caroline Tuttle. The bus was carrying 9 students home from Head Start when it overturned and struck a tree Monday afternoon.
That was unbelievable. Just the pictures of that. It was
That's
just.
what I was thinking.
Bad looking wreck.
It was. I mean, that tree look. I mean, the bus just sideways right in the tree. I guess just slid that way.
Do you have a traffic report?
Well, we can certainly pull one up here. Right now, it's still just dealing with that one accident if you're heading out, and that was on 7175 northbound, right at the 275 ramp. The rest of the traffic, here's another one. Harrison at Montana, got an accident there. That one just kind of popped up. So the rest of the traffic, I mean, I'm not seeing any red show up on the map, just a little slow, maybe right around Kyle's on down to the bridge if you're looking there. But other than that, at least hopefully, it is Wednesday. Maybe it'll start out a little bit better. We'll see how. And it's not raining, so that's good news.
I like that. Ann Romney is in Hamilton today. She will make an 11:30 a.m. visit at Vinyl Max, a replacement window company located at 921 McBride Court, Hamilton, Ohio. Doors open at 10 a.m. Tickets can be claimed at mittromney.com, Ohio. An 87-year-old Barbara Howe went missing October 28th from Monroe. She has memory problems. If you spot that, we've put on our newsletter her license plate number and Monroe police number if you find her.
That's sad.
The Hamilton County Coroner is going to give her employees $33,000 in bonuses in 2012. I thought Hamilton County had a budget problem. I thought. Don't they have a budget problem?
Thought they did too. Seems like everybody has a budget problem.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
just
actually, I thought
continues
everybody.
to spend.
But they could give a big raise like that?
They must. 45-year-old Thomas Hargraves will spend 21 months in prison for threatening Governor Bashir over the internet saying, "I'm going to kill you, watch your back, pig." Probably not very good to do to a sitting governor.
In writing?
I mean, you can do that to your local neighborhood garbage collector.
That's not a good thing.
or a plumber, I guess, but not the governor.
I would think anybody that you put in writing wouldn't be a very good thing.
I know.
I know you were.
The superintendent of Mason County, Kentucky schools has retired in the aftermath of an audit that slammed him. I've been contacted by some people from there wanting to sue to get their money back.
Really?
So who knows? Ohio early voting. Some parts of Ohio are witnessing record numbers of early voters as 4,700 early votes were cast Monday in Franklin County. I wonder what the cost of early voting is, having people have to be available to early vote. This is great news. Obama's canceled a trip scheduled to bring him to Duke Energy Convention Center today. Yes!
that makes it a better day for you, doesn't it?
Mitt Romney is not going to cancel his big rally in Westchester Friday at the Square at Union Center. Doors open at 4:30 and the event is expected to begin at 7. Tickets are available at mittromney.com, Ohio.
Are you going?
I'm thinking about it. I'm actually thinking about it. Moving on to sports. The NBA opened last night. I watched part of these games. The Heat beat the Celtics 120-107. Ray Allen 19 points, shot 67% from the three-point marker, including making his first three-point goal. He is going to be a great addition to the Heat.
Against his old mates.
Yep.
And had to watch
KG.
them get their rings.
And KG wasn't very happy to see Larry Allen, or Ray Allen. Cavaliers beat the Wizards 94-84. Mavericks beat the Lakers 99-91. They didn't even have Dirk. They didn't even have Dirk.
Lakers are going to be good, though.
Yeah, they got Kobe, they got Howard, they got Nash. Brooklyn Nets are going to play its home opener tomorrow night at Barclays Center. People are going to have to walk there from everywhere.
I was going to say there was talk about that game getting postponed because of the storm.
You got to like Mark
Yeah.
Cuban's honesty. When asked to evaluate the Lakers, he said, I don't know, I don't care, I just hope they suck.
Best owner probably to work for.
I would love to work for him, man. I really would. Chicago White Sox, they gave Jake Peavy, their reliever, their closer, a new 2-year, $29 million extension. Gold Glove winners were announced in the American League. We don't care. We're still waiting for the National League. Oh, wait a minute. They did announce the National. I take it back. The way this was charted. No red, despite having a record number 6 nominated. No red won one. Darwin Barney over Phillips?
Yeah.
This is an outrage. No way, man. I cannot believe it.
Bronson Arroyo, Joey Votto. I'm trying to think. Cozart was up for an award. Stubbs even in center field. All up for it.
None of them, huh? I guess I didn't read it. I didn't follow the sports part of it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the American During Week come back. We'll have some more radio superbity. Until then, here's some bad company to wake you up on this Halloween. Why in the hell would it be in Lennon's freaking tomb if it wasn't John Lennon? Or not John Lennon.
Stalin.
Lennon. John Lennon.
John Lennon.
The numbers by the storm. Unfortunately, 50 died in the United States, 69 died in the Caribbean. Early estimates, 20 billion in damage. There's 19 inches of snow in West Virginia and 8.2 million residents out of power in 17 states. And you know how cold and chilly it feels here. Can you imagine how cold and chilly it is up there?
Cannot imagine. And
God bless them all.
Wow.
Good golly.
I mean, there was snow. Where was it? Virginia? I mean, yesterday there was like a big...
19 inches, baby.
Wow.
New York City subways were hit with an historic flooding. Portions of Atlantic City's boardwalk were destroyed. The New York City airports are going to open. Now, you're talking about $500 million in lost revenue for airlines.
Yeah.
You know, of course, New York City. I mean, just think of how that screwed up all kinds of air travel. Sad, sad, sad. 300,000 people, by the way, are out of power in West Virginia where the 19 inches of snow hit. Can you imagine if this hit like the day before the election? Man, that'd be a mess.
It's already kind of odd enough that it hit a week before.
Right. There was, I mean, they were talking about that, about the possibility that they would even postpone it. So that they were like, nah, not going to happen, they didn't think.
Do you have a traffic report, Denise?
I do. Right now, we're dealing with an accident that has injuries. That is on Harrison at Montana. Also, a couple other problems southbound on 71, just north of Taft. There is an accident there in the left lane. Now, traffic is slow if you're heading in that southbound direction. I was just looking through the cameras there. So you are slow on southbound 71 right around that accident scene, so close to Reading and in that area. Also 275, the northbound 7175, the ramp right there at 275. There's an accident there. And Turkey Foot, right around Turkey Foot, there's an accident there in Crestview Hills. So just hit the interstate, so watch for that. And you know what? Northbound 7175 already seeing delays, starting to really slow down there. It bunches up really quick, all the way from Buttermilk to the bridge, and then again at all of your merges over on the Ohio side of the river. So still watching everything, and some areas still looking pretty good.
Let's hope they stay looking good.
If a road can look good anyway.
You know, in Chicago, the murder capital of the world, where Barack Obama was a community organizer, and let it be known The place where he was a community organizer is where all these murders take place. And then we had this teacher strike. Well, since 2011, 35% of the city's 681 schools have failed a health and safety inspection at least once.
Jeez.
Discovery of 200 rodent droppings in food service areas. Chicago's a messed up town, folks.
That is nasty.
Medical lockdown, San Quentin State Prison. The prison was reportedly on lockdown last weekend as medical staff tried to place a number on the amount of prisoners who had contracted chicken pox.
What?
Good golly, Miss Molly, baby.
I don't think I've ever had chicken pox. Do you?
I've never had chicken pox.
You haven't either? Yeah, I did.
What's it feel? Is it itch or?
Yeah, you get bumps. You get little red bumps all over. No,
That's
you what?
I mean that's.
But I mean,
But is it
it's
like
really
itch or
itchy.
hurt
Yes,
or-
it's itchy, and it takes a couple weeks. And
Instead of you guys talking about something frivolous,
No, like
what
chicken
chicken pox feels like, can I ask you
I
all a
find it-
serious question?
what's that?
All right, I'm one of these individuals that I know when I'm getting sick. I mean, I know it. And, you know, we did these family photos Sunday, and I didn't have a hat on outside for about an hour, so I knew I was going to get a cold, and then I get sinus infection, and I just know it. Well, late yesterday, I mean, my voice was feeling raw, my throat was feeling raw, so I called up my good old buddy, Troy Schumann, my fraternity brother and my family physician, and he gets me a Z-Pack. And I started taking that, of course, and I feel better already, and I'm sure within 24 hours I'll be 100% better. What is your all's position on if you're sick, you get medicine versus all these jackwagons, I caution what your answer might be, who say that there's an over-prescribing of antibiotics? I can't afford to lie around sick for a week waiting for my body to maybe heal itself. I say, give me the goods.
All about the drugs. Give me the drugs.
There is nothing better than a Z-Pack, though.
I know.
And you know what? Everybody knows
Zithromycin.
Everybody knows their own body, so you can.
But I'm not worried about becoming, I don't want to keep taking this. My body might develop. And I mean, no. I'll take it as they come. I'll figure they'll come up with something else. And because I do what I do, being medical malpractice, I know that they've got like super duper antibiotics, like vancomycin. By the way, if vancomycin, that's what, like the most serious infections. If vancomycin can't kill what you got, you're dead. Just want to warn you.
That's what they put in the IV pick lines.
Vancomycin or you're dead.
No, I'm with you. Give me everything to make me better right now.
Don't you think that was a lot better question to be discussing on the radio for our listeners than whether
I'm
chicken
more
pox?
informed now about chicken pox too.
No, hold up. I think it's interesting because
I
growing
never
up,
did
and
sick.
I can't believe, Bulldog, that you have never had chicken pox.
I had it when I was a kid.
Okay, well, didn't you just ask him that?
I think so.
See, you guys at
I
your
don't think
age
I've
of
had it.
24, they started giving a shot.
You become sterile. If you get chicken pox at 24, you're sterile.
Yeah, you only have them once, right?
Jake,
only
don't
have
get
them
chicken
once.
pox, man.
They don't
Yeah.
get them anymore. You know why these guys won't get them? They have a shot now.
They do?
And it was starting to be offered when you guys were younger because you're the same age as my kids. So
See?
that is why. Doctors nowadays,
Glad I'm a strapping young lad.
my daughter got bit by bed bugs, and when I took her to the doctor, she went away to a summer camp and came home. And when I took her to the doctor, they're like, "Oh, is it chicken pox?" I was like, "No, it isn't chicken pox." They didn't know what it was. The new young doctors had no idea. So that's why I find it interesting. So it wasn't frivolous. Shaking his head at me.
The coastal community of Breezy Point in New York, located on Jamaica Bay, lost 80 of 100 buildings because they caught fire and just spread through. Can you imagine?
Jeez.
The whole place burned down.
Yeah.
Wow.
City's on fire.
The-
I mean, that's like something out of a movie where you see just like flooding water in the streets, fires going everywhere, people fleeing. That's just crazy. I mean, I couldn't imagine being up there.
Here's something that's I know everybody's going to really be interested in. 9 people arrested in Broward County after it was revealed they were gambling on youth football games and setting point spreads prior to the games. Wow. Several coaches were among those arrested. I think that's funny. Can you imagine telling your little 8-year-old quarterback, throw an interception here, man? What, coach? Throw an interception. You heard me. I'm going to bench you for Tommy.
That's right, you heard me.
You would think the kids would call them out loud and just say, "What are you talking
They
about?"
bet, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it unless they bet against their team.
That's what I say. That's why
Like,
Pete Rose
Pete
is
Rose.
okay.
Thank
He
you.
didn't bet against the Reds, did he? I don't think
No,
he
he
did.
didn't. He said I would never. I'd always bet for him to win. But betting's illegal.
Referring to a video teleconference Obama held on hurricane relief, the White House said of Obama's statement, the president, because he actually used his campaign slogan, he said, "Let's lean forward." The president made clear that he expects his team to remain focused as the immediate impacts of Hurricane Sandy continue and lean forward in their response. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's use campaign slogans, and then let's beat up poor Mitt Romney. It's unfair. It's unfair the way they pick on old Mitt. When we come back, I'm going to pick on Barack Obama some more. We got some great cuts for you, and we're also going to cover politics. It's going to be our focus today, politics, for 2 hours. Can you handle it? I'm sure you can. And we'll sprinkle in there some witty and wise observations. Until then, we give you something off Class X Radio's playlist, Pretenders, Stop Your Sobbing, on Class X Radio, done to the employee because the employer did not allow the employee to leave work to go to the ER. For example, let's say it's a trucking company and a guy that works on the dock is having chest pains, the beginning signs of a heart attack. And everybody says, man, we got to get him to the hospital. And his supervisor, backed up by the owner, says, no. We're not going to let him go to the hospital. That's not necessary. And they say, are you kidding me? Say, no. Okay. If something happens as a result of that, do you think the employer should be held responsible, Garrett?
Absolutely.
Jake?
Yep.
Why wouldn't?
Denise?
Why wouldn't they?
Well,
I mean, you can't. How could you tell somebody?
Well,
that
get
they
this.
know?
I have a case directly on point with this.
You're kidding.
There's no case law in Kentucky. In other words, there hasn't been a case in Kentucky decided on this, but I am completely convinced that it's simple negligence. If you can prove negligence, it's a fact question for a jury. And I could see there's sometimes maybe the employer, shouldn't be held responsible. But are you kidding me? If they do not let you go, man, you got to be held responsible.
Man, I was going to say, like,
and they're filed a motion to dismiss saying there's no duty to do that in Kentucky. And I'm like, what?
That's just a human thing to do. How could you be so
Exactly, a human thing.
cold? I mean, that's
right.
concern and regard for your employee and just being, I don't know, I can't imagine.
Being
I
a
would think
good
that the
employer,
owners would be
mean,
the first person to say, no, we need to get you out of here. I'll take you.
I
So-
would.
I would be. I was going to say I would just leave. I would if something
Right.
that drastic was going on. I just
I mean,
screw you. But then that's
But-
hard for people.
But-
That's their only job.
Let's
that's their
say it's their only
livelihood.
job, and they
I
say you
know.
leave, you're fired, and they're like, man, they got to choose between.
you know what? I would have let them fire me, and then I would have sued them.
I mean, it just does.
Remind
It brings up some big.
remind me if Denise ever has a health issue during the show.
To
that
let
we,
me leave.
we make sure we let her go.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you better let me leave. You know what, though? I would have no problem slamming my books down and say, well, I'm leaving anyway. So, would you?
Well, I quit first.
Yesterday, I had the sad experience of going to attending a 22-year-old young man who was killed in a tractor accident up in Moscow. I've known two people that the past week that got killed in tractor accidents. And you talk about a kick in the heart, consoling his mom. 22 years old,
That's horrible.
2 kids. Sad, 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 sad. Next Wednesday, big news. 10 p.m. I'm going to promote this for a whole week. Lifetime channel. You know, my life is a Lifetime movie. For an hour, they have Nicole Howe on. And they're doing a whole hour show on Nicole Howe and her charges, and they interviewed me for an hour and a half. This is how I got discovered by TV.
Yeah?
The producer that did it. But anyway, next Wednesday, 10 p.m., Nicole Howe, and you can see yours truly. We ought to have like a party to watch it or something.
We should.
At Jake's house.
You know,
Jake, we're coming over.
you're the only one that's really ever awake. I mean, well, I guess I am, but I don't want to be awake at 10.
Speaking of Jake, My stepson Cole was he must be skipping class this week, but because he's home. Okay, he's been home for
I think he is.
3. I asked, hey Cole, you going back to school? Yeah, I'm going back tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's I'm just taking a break. Oh really?
Just a little fall break.
Just a whole break. But anyway, this is so funny. He's anal about his car. Now I'm not saying that in a mean sense. He's just anal about his
takes
car.
Care of it.
While all of us have our cars parked out all the time in the weather, he puts his car in the garage with a cover on it.
Doesn't want it dusty.
But you know what? I'm not complaining because I've paid for that car. And he'll tell you right now, he's taking good care of it.
Oh, good.
I
He
would-
has taken good care.
I would ask what kind of car
like,
it is.
Does he like soup it up or just take care of it as in like cleans it all the
It's
time?
kind of
and-
fixed up.
Both.
What kind of car is it?
A Volkswagen, some kind. It's a fancy
GTO
Volkswagen.
or-
GTO
Oh,
or
okay.
It's a
something.
little hatchback, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know,
Pretty cool
speaking of car covers, I get to work yesterday, just a parking lot outside of Coca-Cola, and a guy has a cover on his car.
No.
I've never seen.
Did
You
you
know,
put
I
it
mean,
on to keep the rain off of?
Yeah, I mean, I could see if you have a classic car, you cover it up or whatever. I've never seen that in the parking lot at work. Some guy, I mean, how much of a loser would you look like coming out after work and like uncovering your car and
I would think you'd
folding
look
up the
like
tarp?
more of a loser covering up in the
or
rain in
covering
the
it up?
morning.
Yeah.
I got to play, Barack Obama. Remember his speech in Arizona where he said, we have to be more civil. And remember when he ran in 2000, when you don't have anything to say, you knock down the other guy. I'm going to play 2 clips for you. One is Lena Dunham, your first-time Dem ad. I mean, do you believe it? Barack Obama and the Democrats and his super PACs are actually playing this ad to certain audiences. How does this get you more votes? Listen to this, folks, if you haven't heard it.
What's the other one you're playing?
Future children.
Somebody really cares about
Is that not sick?
Oh my God, that's
Con-
just stupid.
Like comparing it to losing your virginity. And now, how does that get Ohio voters revved up? That's messed up. Now here's another one for your listening pleasure. This is a future children. They had children sing this song. Listen to these words. Kids.
Wow.
The world is going to hell in a handbasket.
Wow.
I never
So
thought
they
it.
just told these kids to sing this, and
Yeah.
this is what you.
Yeah, I mean, after Jimmy Carter, I thought the Democrats would like run from the word liberal, and they did under Clinton. They kind of got back to middle ground. The Democratic Party is just like taking a sharp left turn off the cliff. You got a quick traffic report there for us before we play some music? But that's how messed up the Democratic Party is, those 2 commercials.
Yeah, well, there's some bad ones out there. Right now, still dealing with the accident southbound 71, the left lane still blocked there. Also on 71 or northbound 71, 75, that traffic's still heavy. There was an earlier accident on the ramp there, 275. They still have that posted, but that has been over an hour, so it shouldn't still be out there. I guess it could be just off on the shoulder. Turkey Foot right at 275. You need to watch for that. And also on Marburg. just south of East Galbraith, there's an accident there, and the rest of the traffic really started to slow down already 25 minutes, which is pretty typical, 71, 75 from 275 to the bridge. And then the rest of the tri-state, especially at all the merges if you're heading out, they're already slowing down. So you've got a few delays out there to deal with, but the heaviest traffic is on 71, 75 heading inbound. So they did, I do have a posting here, they did clear the accident on the ramp, which I thought would be gone, which is good news.
We like the clearing.
Yeah, you know, when we go to a break, I'm going to show you this graphic, horrible commercial that I actually saw this morning on TV.
All right. This is Heart, Nothing at All. We come back. We'll continue our radio superbity.
Hear what you've been missing.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. You know it's going well for Romney when they have to send Bill Clinton to Minnesota, a state that shouldn't be close and it's even, and they have to send Joe Biden to Pennsylvania. Ha ha ha! I could hear Bill Clinton yesterday. He goes out there and says, "Hey, is there any cool lakes around here?" You don't realize that Minnesota is like the lake capital of the world. Lots of lakes in Minnesota. Can you get me a date with a Viking cheerleader, Bulldog? I'm telling you.
So did you?
The Wall Street Journal, delay the election. Great article. Those of you that are wondering if this would delay the election, this storm. This is what they had to say. The first Tuesday after the first Monday in November was established by an act of Congress in 1845 as the uniform date for states to choose their presidential electors. Americans have stuck with the date even since, along with whatever inconveniences the timing imposes, including the Civil War, the Great Depression, and World War II. The last time there was any serious question about postponing an election was in 1864 at the height of the Civil War, about which said Abraham Lincoln, "If the rebellion could force us to forego or postpone a national election, it might fairly claim to have already conquered and ruined us." How do you like that?
Wow.
And he was running against his general McClellan, and he beat his ass.
So there you go. It will not be delayed.
It will not be delayed, folks.
Romney will be our 45th president next.
No, it's
Tuesday,
41 and
41.
43, so 44, 45th. No.
Yeah, I thought Obama was 44, I thought.
Yeah, he'd be 45th. No. George Bush 1 was 41. George Bush 2 was 43. So then you have 40. Yeah, 44. He'd be our 45th.
45th.
That's correct.
Well, I wonder if Obama would want it to be over, or if he'd want that extra time. I mean, you kind of wonder how the candidates would feel. It's like, okay, would you want it to be postponed, or
Well,
think it benefit? Do you think it would benefit either one?
hey, before we do a traffic report, y'all want to bash Obama some more?
Yes.
Here is allegedly 53 seconds that they claim that hurt Obama. So let's play this.
Yeah, let me get...
Insurance is strong, so it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Jeez.
You know, I think that's funny, but you could do the same thing with Romney. You know what I mean? Like, you could make him, depict him to be saying,
whose side are you on?
I'm on Romney's side.
Well, but the only
Bigger
thing
than
is,
anybody.
all of that's how he sounded through the whole first debate.
I know, and he does that, and it's...
How about the Channel 9, that station that interviewed him, not our local Channel 9, but an affiliate, CBS affiliate that asked him about the Libyan issues and whether they asked for backup, and he was it's incredible.
Well, he stumbles all the time, so
he's a jackwagon.
It's kind of like
see, I wonder if he didn't do that as much in the first campaign when he was first elected, because it didn't seem like he did. It seemed like he was a pretty good talker the first time around, a good speaker. But maybe that's just because of who he was going against. It wasn't comparable.
Jay Carney said the reason for that Wall Street Journal story is Jay Carney said yesterday he was unsure if the presidential election could be postponed due to the aftermath of the hurricane and the possibility the number of polling locations won't have electricity. The answer, Carney, is it's not going to be postponed. They did cancel last night the Elizabeth Warren and Scott Brown debate. And, you know, I just can't believe Massachusetts is going to elect Warren. My God. Although, let me tell you about Scott Brown. You know, he runs the Tea Party. He rode the Tea Party, you know, to get elected the last time. And then he turns around and poops on us on that Kennedy seat. He poops on us and helped them pass Obamacare. So, you know what, Scott Brown? If you get pooped on, good riddance at you, too. That's what I say.
You know,
Oliver Stone insinuated Hurricane Sandy is Obama and Romney's punishment for not speaking out on climate change. Oh, my God. What were you going to say, Denise?
You know, I'm sitting here watching the TVs behind you and watching all the devastation. You kind of wonder how many states it went through, how much damage it did, and you kind of think, in a week, are they even going to be able to vote? And how important is it for those upper states for Romney? No? How important is it for them to get out? And I mean, you know, a lot of those people didn't get out before they vote.
Every one of those states are Obama states anyway.
They are?
Yep.
Okay.
So who cares? I don't care about them. I'm talking about as far as the election goes. Like New York and Jersey, they're going to vote Democrat.
I would have thought more of that would have been Romney. And I sound like Obama.
And I'm going to just blast. I mean, blast. Good old Governor Christie here in a minute. Do you have a traffic report before I do?
I do. A couple of accidents, still dealing with that there. One at Harrison in Montana. That one has injuries. Still working on that getting cleared up. They cleared the one out on 71 southbound right at Taft, but that traffic's still a little slow there. The accident on 71-75 at the ramp, that's cleared up. But that traffic on northbound 71-75, it is 30 minutes from 275 on down the bridge. So you've got some delays there. Duck Creek at Ridge, an accident at Ridge at Maple Leaf. And Winton at Galbraith, a couple of accidents there. Northbound 71 at 275, so at least it's in the opposite direction, but that is on the ramp, so that's again northbound 71, and then also 275 at Highway 28 heading westbound, there's an accident there. So, and then the traffic is just slow around the tri-state, just allow those normal delays, a little bit heavier in a couple of spots, but right now.
Kind of like Garrett, just a little heavier in a couple spots.
Couple of spots.
Yeah, how is that? It's always like that little muffin top thing. You get heavier right around the middle.
Really goes straight to my ass. That bowl ice cream I had last night went straight to my butt.
That's it. It's kind of like the donut commercial, one for each butt cheek.
No, I don't like. That's a bad image for me. I don't want to see it.
Denise,
you've seen it, don't you know what I'm talking about?
We're on a family show.
No, I didn't say anything bad. I was talking about donuts.
Speaking of whether or not the storm helps or hurts Obama or Romney, A.B. Stoddard from The Hill had a good analysis that she thinks the storm hurts Obama because the game plan this last week was to rev up and excite the base to get them out to vote. And this has kind of thrown a wrench in that. And I kind of agree with that. You know, it is true that he gets to look presidential, spending our money. But, you know, he couldn't come out and look presidential and stop what he couldn't suspend his campaign for what happened in Libya when an ambassador and 4 people die. But he can suspend his campaign for the hurricane. So bad choice there. But you know, it's probably all going to be a wash. I can't imagine anybody changing their mind to vote because there's a storm and there's Barack Obama saying, I'm going to give you some money.
Here's my thing. What president...
Did we ask?
George W. Bush.
I'm just teasing. Go ahead. Go ahead. What is your thing, Garrett?
My thing is that what president, other than George W. Bush, wouldn't give all his resources available to help out these victims of this storm?
Right.
You know? obviously Bush did it like a week late.
But that wasn't his fault.
And he got ripped for
it was the state's problem. The states have to ask for it, and they didn't.
Yeah, and even if it was, he's still getting the blame. He still took most of the blame for it.
Right.
Wrong as it may be. But Romney would be doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know about the storm helping or hurting. Besides, you're not going to know the impact of it, I don't think, until after the election's over because it happens so close to it. You're still assessing the damage even in the next week.
Let's just be grateful that we live in the Midwest in an area. If you don't live next to the Ohio River, if you do not live on the Ohio River, basically around here, you don't have to worry about earthquakes, not even tornadoes really. Hurricanes, cyclones, I mean, forest fires. Thank God we live in the tri-state.
We've had one tornado. The tornadoes hit last year.
Right.
Were pretty bad. Or was that actually?
That was rare. That was rare. And I think 4 people died. Yeah, March. It was March.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a rare thing. And before that, it was those storms that hit Blue Ash, like in '98 or something like that. So it's rare around here.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, and we come back with some more radio superbity. Until we do, this is some Roger Daltrey under a wing commercials. Here, there was another one. Michael Moore and MoveOn.org produced a commercial. It's not on there. We're not going to play. We can't play this one. Of senior citizens cussing about Romney, including some old lady says that if Mitt Romney wins, we're going to burn this down.
There's more power to him at that age.
I mean, my God.
I think they're too stupid to start a fire anyway, so we're all right.
I don't know.
Got a traffic update, Denise?
I do. I mean, it's just slow all around the tri-state, dealing with some accidents. Still dealing with some accidents. Eastbound 275 on the ramp to northbound 71. There's an accident there. Some heavy traffic. I mean, it's pretty much bumper to bumper. There's an accident in Claremont County. That is on 275. It's State Route 28. But that traffic, you're backed up solid. I mean, it's just all 3 lanes bumper to bumper from US 50 all the way up to 71. So problems there. Over on Wenton, we have an accident in Wenton, just north of Galbraith. Also another accident, a new accident, and this is California at Redding. So right in that area near the Norwood Lateral Ridge at Maple Leaf. Still dealing with one there, and Duck Creek at Ridge. The rest of the traffic southbound 71 solid from Fields Erdel all the way down to around the Kenwood Cut. Southbound 75, Cincy Dayton Road, that is solid traffic down to 275. Then again off and on down to Ronald Reagan. So plenty of problems there. Northbound on 7175, it's pretty much the only thing that's red, but everybody that drives that, you almost know this time of day it's going to be bad. You're looking at 35 minutes to 40 minutes from Donaldson on down to the bridge in that northbound direction, then 471 from Southgate on into downtown. And 74. That's slow too, heading in.
Thank you for that.
Hell of a report.
Yeah.
By the way, some of the cemeteries up east have had the caskets floating out of their graves. That's spooky and gross and scary.
Oh.
And also there's a report that shark brains are kind of like human brains. I wonder if they're like even more like lawyer brains. You know, they refer to lawyers as sharks. I just wondered that.
You know, I heard those photos.
Just a random thought I had.
Pictures were photoshopped.
Really?
Sharks swimming around, and yeah, I heard that was photoshopped.
I'd like to honor a fallen local great, Dan Tiemann, who was the former Villa Madonna, now Thomas More basketball star, and was a Cincinnati Royal and a Covington Catholic teacher and basketball coach, passed away yesterday after a 3-year battle with cancer. And that was provided to me by Bulldog Nation member Ken, who always gives me some good stuff to pass along to you.
Oh, Doug, real quick, I'm just watching Fox News behind you. George Norm from Cheers,
yes,
hospitalized with heart.
Well, that's a real shocker.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a big guy, but he's funny.
He is funny.
Hey, bash Chris Christie. Did you do that already?
Not yet.
I was going to say.
It's coming up.
I want to hear that.
I'm going to bash him good. Until then, I got some more funny Russian news to report for you. 700 tons of gold ore disappeared off the Russian coast. 9 crew members with it. Storm-tossed waters of the Russian coast. There was no estimated value placed on the missing gold ore, but I got to say this. Did they get lost at sea or did they get lost in sea? They say, let's turn off our radar. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. That would be really cool.
Let's head to America.
Sounds like something we would do, wouldn't it, Garrett?
Absolutely.
Steal 700 tons of gold ore.
I would not be taking it to where it needs to go.
Russia is standing by Barack Obama. What do you mean? Well, let me just tell you something. You know, Obama won in 2008 the European race. He won Germany and France. Well, he's going to win Russia, too. A poll taken in Russia shows that 41% of the Russian people want Obama to be reelected, while only 8% would like to see Romney. What does it tell you when your enemies want the other guy to? That means they like
because
Obama because he's a wimp. Because he's an easy. They walk all over him.
That's right.
And what do they know
Wake
about
up, America!
All they know is that it's been good for them under Obama. They know nothing about Romney.
Right.
So they're like, change would be bad.
They know that Romney in the debate said, I'm going to have a backbone. I'm not going to talk to you, quote unquote, with more flexibility after the election. The New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ and other trading platforms will reopen today. And I'm going to report 3 earnings reports. Ford earned $1.63 billion. Yeah, baby. BP, net profit of $5.4 billion. I like that commercial where they point out that they employ 200,000 people in the United States.
Yeah.
Dow Chemical will take a restructuring charge of $1 billion in Q4. That means, ouch. It's going to lead to a loss of 3,000 jobs. Not good, not good. Obamacare, Wall Street Journal has an article too, how it's not been very good for the working class. And perverse incentive, this is a quote, will make part-time work more attractive than a better paying full-time job. That is messed up.
Part-time work will look more attractive?
Yep, because of your benefits that you get by working part-time versus working full-time. Nothing like incentives to work hard, is there? And I got, this is something else I've been wanting to discuss about big business, is this. There are some, you have to have big business. You need small business, but you also need big business. And let me explain. I'm going to use the tri-state as an example, okay? You can have a small business, okay, like myself. And you can do so many things to help out causes and people. But look how much more somebody like the Cincinnati Reds can do for charity and things like that because of the stage they have.
Right.
Or Procter & Gamble for United Way fundraising and everything else. I mean, we need captains of industry as much as we do small business too. And Mitt Romney was one of those guys. And for people to bash him makes me angry because the reality is you need those kind of folks too. Don't you agree?
I want a guy in the White House that knows how to make money.
I agree. Also, I don't know if you saw this, but Greater Cincinnati Magazine voted us the top morning show in the tri-state now.
Who did what?
Really?
The Greater Cincinnati Magazine.
God love them. They're big fans of the shows over there.
That's it. The Bulldog is
So how do you like that? The Greater Cincinnati Magazine picked us #1 morning show in the tri-state.
Willie #2.
He's not morning, nah.
Oh.
Jim Scott, I think, was 3rd.
Would
Do you see where he lost to WBE by 2 points?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a first in a long time.
It's because of Bulldog Nation, baby.
Taking away listeners.
That's what I was going to say. See, what do you consider the rest of us? You're the Bulldog. Are we?
You're part of the nation. You're part of the mafia.
We're the mafia.
I forgot your pink shirt this morning. I apologize. I got to bring it in.
Garrett, is he bringing you a pink shirt?
No, he's getting a black shirt.
I'd like a pink.
Pink. Okay.
All right, when we come back, I will start bashing Governor Christie and Barack Obama. And until then, we have some Aerosmith for you on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. All right. Good old fat slob Governor Christie. Yeah, back when the Republican primary was going on and there was people trying to get Governor Christie to run, everybody liked his plain, blunt talk, including yours truly. There was always something about the guy I didn't like. And there's something about the guy I still don't like. And then he endorsed Mitt Romney. And when he gave the quote-unquote keynote speech, it was more like a, hey, remember me, I want to be president speech. And everybody always says that knows Christie. He's got his own agenda, of course, which is fair. And you have to wonder whether part of that agenda was, you know, to be the president. And if Barack Obama were to win re-election, that would give him a better chance to be elected president, because if Romney wins, he's going to be in there for 8 years, and that destroys Governor Christie's opportunity. So New Jersey gets walloped, I mean walloped, by the hurricane. And folks, let me tell you something. Just because we had a real bad storm up the east does not mean the most important thing for this country to do is defeat Barack Obama. It's still the most important mission for America. Now, Christie goes on national television and announces that, praises the president, got everything that he wanted, you know, blah, blah, blah. And the president is going there today to view storm damage with Governor Christie. Of course, Mayor Bloomberg said, yeah, we don't need you to come here, so forth and so on. Of course, that detracts from Bloomberg. So Bloomberg obviously is a more astute politician. But let me tell you something, folks. And this is politics. I admit it's politics. If you are Governor Christie, you don't need to be praising Mitt Romney. President Obama. You can say, well, yeah, the president's been good, but that he's just doing his job. He's not doing anything special, yada, yada, yada. The New York Times op-ed Maureen Dowd wrote, Governor Chris Christie, the fleece-wearing, order-barking Neptune of the Jersey Shore, was all over TV Tuesday, effusively praising the president for his luminous leadership on Hurricane Sandy. The same president he mocked last week at a Romney rally in Virginia as a knife groping to find the light switch of leadership. Well, I have a hard time believing that the Barack Obama folks aren't going to be throwing up a television commercial with Chris Christie and using this. I mean, I just have a hard time believing that that's not going to happen. Christie was dumb and stupid and naive to do that and to say that. And maybe there's some secret, some secret mission he has, like today, once he gets Barack Obama in front, next to him, he's going to say something publicly to bash him. You know, like, hey, just because you did good on this storm, you sucked at all the other things you did. I don't know. But Chris Christie, I think, is a blowhard. I do. I think he's a blowhard.
Kind of reminds me of Rex Ryan for the Jets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Talks a big game, never seems to back it up.
Yeah. Denise, you got a traffic report that's a blowhard?
Well, it's just one of those days out there. I'll tell you what, here's a new accident. Just eastbound 275 right around Winton, and that traffic, I was just looking at that, it's backed up all the way back, all 3 lanes, very, very slow there. You can allow about 40 minutes all the way back to right around Coleraine, Ronald Reagan, in that area. So if you're heading eastbound on 275, so towards 75, you're going to run into some problems there. Still have this accident posted with injuries. Harrison at Montana, Independence at Cody at Independence Station, Madison Pike. You have another accident there in Kenton County at Moffett. And then there's several other little accidents. Southbound 71 on the ramp to 275. And I'll tell you what, too, 275 heading northbound from US 50, looking at 45 minutes, as well as northbound 7175 heading all the way in from Florence. You're looking at 45 to 55 minutes. So if you start out in the Florence area, it's going to take you almost an hour to get to the bridge. So some really slow traffic there this morning. No accident reported on 7175, just really, really slow there. So plenty of little accidents in a bunch of small spots, but right now, just, it's that time of day. It's almost 8.
Almost 8, the worst time.
Yeah, it is.
By the way, after the 8 o'clock news break, I am going to give you some brilliant political commentary that is original, because all the jackwagons last night missed it, about Barack Obama. I want to give you an update on the polls, if you haven't heard this already. In the state of Ohio, Rasmussen has Romney up 2, which is huge. In the battleground states, collectively, Romney's up like 7 points. A bipartisan polling group, NPR, has Romney projected to win 53% to, I think, 56% or 46%. That's good news. In addition to that, you have Minnesota, just a slight lead now for Barack Obama. You have Philadelphia, close. Michigan allegedly is tied. Iowa, Romney's up a little bit now, same with Colorado. Florida, apparently the Barack Obama people are conceding that Florida looks lost, as well as Virginia and North Carolina. Romney is up a little bit in New Hampshire. I mean, things are breaking momentum-wise very well. However, to finish him off, Mitt Romney's got to step up his game today and speak out against some of the going-ons in this world. And when we come back, I'm going to discuss some of those, including something that Barack Obama said yesterday that is incredible. And I am going to make sure that you do not forget about the scandal, which is the Libya Benghazi attack on our consulate. And I'm going to give you a great comparison on that. Until then, this is Greg Kilband Jeopardy, which is, in fact, Obama's campaign is in on Class X Radio.
You gotta kill it. I hate that part.
1.3 WYNS Winsville. Class X, the new breed of rock.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Class X Radio. Before I get rolling, Denise, why don't you give everybody out there a good traffic report?
Oh, there's so much going on. Let's see. Eastbound 275 at Wenton, there's an accident that has traffic backed up all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Looking at about a 30 to 40 minute delay there. So if you're heading towards 75, expect some problems there. You might even just go south and jump on Ronald Reagan. That might get you over to 75 a little faster than going north on 275. Also, still dealing with the problem on Madison at Moffett. And then again, southbound on 71, there's a problem there right at 275. Now that's on the right shoulder, but that traffic is still really, really slow from Field Circle as you're continuing all the way down to the Kenwood Cut, and you're still bumper to bumper from US 50 heading northbound on 275, let's say northwestbound, all the way up to 71. So in northern Kentucky, you know, I don't get what the deal is. It's backed up all the way into Florence right now, heading in that northbound direction. So 45 minutes to the bridge from Florence on in. Problems there.
All righty, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, this clip was played by video on O'Reilly, Hannity, Greta, the national news stations, and no one commented of what I'm going to comment on. Hit it, Garrett.
Badfinger, Europe, AC/DC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I speak to you today to comment upon those remarks by the president. I cannot believe that national talk show hosts failed to make the connection between those comments that he just made and his 4 years as president. Did you hear what he said? He said he's asked the federal agencies, people, government to quote unquote cut through the red tape, cut through the bureaucracy, and get what needs to be gotten to the people. Can we not all agree that that is a good thing to do? Of course we can. The whole reason why Barack Obama is saying that is because he wants to show that, hey, I'm the president, we got this storm thing, we need to get rid of bureaucracy and red tape. Why? Because things work better when you get rid of bureaucracy and red tape. Which takes us then to the big question. If Barack Obama yesterday concedes that you got to get rid of the bureaucracy and red tape to get these resources to the state, and everybody can agree we don't like bureaucracy and red tape. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, can you explain to me, the Bulldog, why in the hell then that is how we govern every single freaking day? Why doesn't Barack Obama, as president for the last 4 years, do everything that he could do to get rid of bureaucracy and red tape in government? Every governor do it in their state. Every county commissioner do it in their county. Every city council does it for their city. Instead of the other way, instead of Obamacare and 16,000 IRS agents, a 2,800-page bill, thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of regulations, Dodd-Frank Act, more regulations, red tape, bureaucracy. This president of the United States has been Mr. Bureaucracy and red tape. And then when we have the need to do something in a storm, he wants to get rid of bureaucracy and red tape because bureaucracy and red tape is bad. Hello, Mr. President, you jackwagon. And how come nobody, O'Reilly, let me tell you something, I could clean O'Reilly's clock with analysis. And he has all these guests set up for him. Same thing with Hannity and Greta. Not one person, by the way, even the guests on their show, not one person pointed out how stupid that was, but also how revealing it was. It's an admission by the president, bureaucracy and red tape is bad, and knowing it's bad, he still has laid down upon American business and American people the biggest amount of bureaucracy and red tape in the history of this damn country. And by the way, Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan better be all over that like black on shoe polish, green on grass, white on rice today. They should be all over it. How can people miss that insight? They did, but am I not right? Why would he do that, Garrett? Why would he dog bureaucracy and red tape while for 4 years he's just been laying it on us? Knowing that bureaucracy and red tape is bad. Oh my God.
It's his own policy. I mean,
fired up.
It's incredible.
But I'm not going to have a heart attack. I got fans that text me, don't have a heart attack. I might have a heart attack. I'd be myself.
I think it's good you relieve stress that way. You get all fired up, you get,
It's called passion, folks.
Passion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Barack Obama, my God, he is a nincompoop. He is a little boy lost in high weeds, looking for his ball. Doesn't have a freaking clue. And the American people bought it. Bought it. Can't believe they bought it. Don't you remember that AC/DC latest album? It's called Runaway Train.
Yeah, we don't have it.
What?
I know. Spry?
Jeez, oh Pete. By the way, Spry
Or
is
Kaufman.
going to post a Greater Cincinnati Magazine article, you know, making us the #1 show in the morning show in the tri-state now.
To the Facebook page.
Spry's going to put it up on Facebook. He's going to put it up on classxradio.com. But you know what? Maybe that is a good song. That's too obvious for AC/DC. We're having a live debate about the music selection that Garrett had. I overruled that music selection.
TNT Money Talks.
TNT. We're going to play it for Joe Deters.
There we go.
This is for Joe Deters, the Hamilton County prosecutor. This is his theme song, according to Willie. Ladies and gentlemen, we come back. I'm not done. I am going to give you some observations about the Libyan Benghazi scandal that no one has mentioned yet. Why? Because the Bulldog is original on Class X Radio. The president wants to cut bureaucracy and red tape because he knows it slows things down. But by golly, the other 4 years, the rest of the 4 years, he just wants to load us down with it. All right, traffic report, Denise, before I go on rant number 2.
Well, before you do that, right now things are actually clearing up a little bit. You still have some really heavy traffic on 71, 75, and on 71. Still dealing with the accident on 275 heading eastbound. Now, if you're heading eastbound, that accident was right around Coleraine, or Winton, I'm sorry, and you're backed up all the way back to Ronald Reagan, heading in that northbound direction. So if you're heading towards 75 there, you're going to run into some problems. You might even just take Ronald Reagan on over, but again, that traffic is even slow there, starting out right around Coleraine, continuing all the way over to 75, and then once you get to 75, you're definitely slow there through the 75 merge. 471 still a little slow there from Grand on into downtown, but 275 over around US 50 all the way up, that is cleared out. Looking at the cameras, I mean, your traffic is still there, but it's just not sitting bumper to bumper. Sometimes it kind of looks like a parking lot out there, especially through the cut in the hill. Sometimes it's just a solid beam of red lights, and I just feel bad for anybody who gets stuck in that, you know?
One of the reasons why I wanted to do a 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock show instead of 7, so I could avoid the traffic between 6:45 and 7, the cut of the hill. There's no traffic at 5:45.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I am going to set the stage for my next rant with the following cuts. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, it broke on Friday that by the way, it's all happened between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It all broke at the Situation Room in the White House, State Department. Everyone was gathered to watch, and I hate this word, real time. Let's just call it what it is. They were watching live everything unfold. And of course it came out that these 2 SEALs disobeyed orders, went to the consulate to try to save the ambassador and the other gentleman that was with him. And then they got the bodies out, and then they went to the CIA annex, which was like a safe house, where they took fire there, and they pointed out where the mortar firings were coming from, and we did nothing to knock them out, and then they died. Charles Woods' son, Ty Woods, was one of the SEALs that died on the top of that roof from a mortar explosion. And it comes out that they had 7 hours to do something. Backup was repeatedly denied, so forth and so on. And of course, we have all this record of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Panetta and the rest saying that this was due to a video. Can you imagine? And that guy, by the way, was arrested for contempt for this video, and he's still in jail. Boy, I wish I was his defense attorney. Surely his defense attorney's filed something with the court to say, my client's in jail due to the lying of the president, the secretary of state, so forth and so on. So that kind of sets the stage, okay? Now, just imagine, and Petraeus, the CIA, said they didn't refuse. So it's all coming from the White House. The White House refused. And then Panetta to say, we didn't have enough information. My God, he had the best information. He had SEALs inside the consulate. He had SEALs at the annex. And guess what? The Libyans that were on our side that participated in this also called for backup. Never got the backup. So you got to ask you this question. And this is a trust issue. But, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, if you didn't know this, I'll teach you some international law. An embassy or a consulate like that is considered American soil. International law. That consulate is considered American soil. So, the President of the United States and our Secretary of Defense, it's clear as hell. Let's just call it the way it's clear as hell. They refused backup and support for 2 SEALs and some pro-Libyan allies to save the life of the ambassador and aide on American soil. Can you imagine that happening? Now, in addition to that, we know that the next day Obama flies to Las Vegas for a campaign fundraiser. Now, many have already commented on this. This is not original, but it's my thought too. That he suspends his campaign for the storm, but you don't suspend the campaign for the death of an ambassador and everything that took place there? Are you kidding me? Now, Woods is so mad, Charles Woods is so mad, he sends a tweet to Obama that says, better to die a hero than live a coward. Now, here's 2 comments that I like to make about this, to wrap this up. Number 1, remember Obama was going to be Mr. Transparent? He refused to ask the direct questions about this. And how stupid does Hillary look? We have an accountability review board looking at this thing. They already got the answers. Now here is what I would be doing if I was Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, Sununu, and all the attack dogs on the Romney campaign, which is an original thought, which I cannot believe they haven't done yet. So hopefully somebody from the campaign in Ohio is listening to the Bulldog and they can pass this up the ladder, okay? Remember a little while ago, a few months back, when all we could hear from Barack Obama and all his minions, Count Chocula, Axelrod, and all the other Needlemeyers in the campaign? What is Romney hiding? What's Romney hiding? We need to see these tax returns. Why isn't he releasing his tax returns? What is he hiding? What has he got to hide? What has he got to hide? Are you freaking kidding me? The same Needlemeyer political socialist jackwagons running this country have the nerve to make the release of tax returns as an important issue, and they won't freaking admit and answer questions about the failure to give backup to SEALs trying to save an American ambassador on American soil? Let's compare the 2 in importance. And guess who joined Count Chocula and the rest of the Needlemeyers? The network media. New York Times, so forth and so on. Well, why can't they make this issue important? And we know the answer. Because it's a killer issue, baby. It's a killer issue. It proves the freaking absolute breakdown of Barack Obama. The fact he's a loser, he's a liar, he's corrupt, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That's why. We'll get traffic right when we come back from the break. This is the Hollies, the air that I breathe, which is cloudy under Obama on Class X Radio. Bulldog on Class X Radio. We're going to dedicate a song to Barack Obama coming up. Until then, let's have a traffic report, Denise.
Well, things are looking a little bit better. Still dealing with the problem on 275 eastbound. You still have that accident at Wenton. That traffic is literally just solid bumper-to-bumper traffic all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Still looking at about 45 minutes. I think some people are using Ronald Reagan to get over to 75, which is the best bet. You also have an accident on the Norwood Lateral westbound right at Paddock. And then if you're heading into Newport, there's an accident in the left lane, 275 eastbound at 471. That is, you're slow there from 3 Mile, but in both directions, even on 275 heading eastbound, right around Taylor Mill, you're pretty slow there all the way over. 71, 75, you're still slow from 275 to the bridge, still looking at about 30 minutes, and 471, that's slow. The 71's not looking as bad. It cleared up quite a bit, actually. You've got a few little slow spots where you've got some stop-and-go traffic, but no major problems there. A little bit of traffic again on Ronald Reagan, just due to, I think, people taking the detour to get around the problem there on 275 at Winton.
Thank you, Denise. It's funny, CNN just did a story about Mitt Romney answering a question or not answering a question about FEMA, which he should. And he did issue a statement saying that states and local communities should be priority because they are the first responders, which is true. It's amazing how they want to dig into something like that in light of the storm relative, but they don't say anything about Benghazi. I mean, I've been watching this all morning. It breaks. And it's hilarious. They want to try to make Romney's FEMA comments an issue, but they don't want to touch Benghazi, where the president didn't send backup. Oh my God, I just can't deal with it. By the way, remember, next Wednesday, I want to keep promoting this. Next Wednesday at 10 o'clock at the Lifetime channel is Nicole Howe is going to be featured. The teacher that was accused of sexual misconduct. She was innocent. Jury found her innocent. And I'm going to be on the show too. Isn't that neat? Also, let's promote our radio station. You can tune in to us every morning from 6 to 9 from 88.9 on 88.9 and 89.1 FM. 89.9 is the Better Ohio signal. 89.1 is the Better Northern Kentucky signal. In addition to that, you can listen to Class X Radio on classxradio.com. And you can also listen to Class X Radio on their app and their TuneIn Live radio. Also, on the bulldogsnation.com, we have a live video simulcast. Livestream.com was not working a little bit today, so I don't know about today's show. But we put up the podcast as well. You can text me at 859-250, thanks Jake, 859-250-2527. And in addition to that, you can email me at eric@ericdeters.com. If you want information about my law practice, you can go to ericdeters.com. And if you get an idea for the show, send it to me or email it to me. And I just have to read this one. I read one yesterday, and this is worthy of reading today. I've seen this before, but Bulldog Nation member Roland sent this to me, and I just have to read it again. So here we go. The folks who are getting the free stuff don't like the folks who are paying for the free stuff, because the folks who are paying for the free stuff can no longer afford to pay for both the free stuff and their own stuff. And the folks who are paying for the free stuff want the free stuff to stop. And the folks who are getting the free stuff want even more free stuff on top of the free stuff they're already getting. Now the people are forcing the people who pay for the free stuff have told the people who are receiving the free stuff that the people who are paying for the free stuff are being mean, prejudiced, and racist. So the people who are getting the free stuff have been convinced they need to hate the people who are paying for the free stuff by the people who are forcing some people to pay for the free stuff and giving them the free stuff in the first place. We have let the free stuff giving go on for so long that there are now more people getting free stuff than paying for the free stuff.
What free stuff is that?
That's
I want some
funny,
free
man.
stuff.
That is funny. Well, just where do you want to start? Health care, food, housing,
Yep.
a phone, unlimited benefits.
You say healthcare?
Yeah.
I don't get any of that. Do you? Do you, Garrett? Do you get free stuff?
Well, I do. No, not for free. No, I work for it.
Yeah.
You work. But
Right.
America's going to hell in a handbasket, folks. I'm telling you.
Considering I was your stereotypical white single female with no job and no health insurance.
You know what?
For all summer.
Dog, if Romney wins, I quit. I mean, if Obama wins, I quit. And I'm going to quit it.
You're going to get free stuff.
I'm going to just go freeload.
Well, that's what everybody else
Like
is doing.
The rest of them.
And you know what? It's an epidemic.
I know it. That's what these people, it's entitlement.
You know what?
They
It's
think that the government should do it.
It's human nature, and I can even relate to it in a way. I mean, it's human nature is the fact that if you have something, when something's taken away, it's painful. It's painful because you're used to it. If you've never had it, it's much easier. Like, for example, I don't have, I'm trying to think. I don't have a Lamborghini. So big deal. But if you had a Lamborghini and you lost a Lamborghini, like, God darn, I lost that Lamborghini. That's an extreme example. But my point is when you're used to having like a house. You're used to having a house and all of a sudden you lose your house in foreclosure. That sucks.
Yep.
Well, it's even health insurance. I mean, health insurance, it's maybe not the same, but I went from having health insurance and then you question everything you do. You don't call the doctor for every little thing.
I need to go get a flu shot. That's what I need to do.
That you can do at Kroger's.
I can't afford to get sick. I have too many important things to do.
I don't get flu shots. They say everybody should get one.
I've been getting them the last 4 or 5 years.
You're younger. I don't really think it's as big of a... I never...
Darn right I'm younger.
You are, yes.
How much younger am I than
we won't go there.
About 25 years, maybe?
You know what? It's equal. The room's split 50-50 here in the age bracket.
Hey, have we not kind of decided that based upon the last 2 days, we don't need Mike Zimmerman?
No, I think you do.
Sam,
I think we do.
You're fired.
You do. You want Jake to have these...
Why do we need Zimmerman? I'm just saying, man.
Jake, do you feel as though you could fulfill all of the linebacker Mike Zimmerman's duties?
Maybe not all, but most.
Maybe like 4 of him. I mean, like physically.
All
right.
Room,
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I don't want to get any members of Bulldog Nation upset for doing this, but I am going to dedicate a song to the President of the United States. So, Bulldog Nation and the Commander, yours truly, dedicates this Beatles song to Barack Obama. On Halloween! Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
What's your favorite candy to get on Halloween, dog?
Anything chocolate.
I was going to say Snickers.
Reese Cups, probably the best, I think, out there.
What do you give away? What do you give away on
Good
Halloween?
stuff. We go.
Like, what kind of good stuff?
I get grade A candy. I mean, I get Snickers,
Big ones?
Hershey
You get
bars,
the full
Like the
size
big
bars?
size thing?
full size bars, or we get the little stuff. We give them hands, but we give a ton of candy out.
You were the house that I looped back to and went.
Absolutely.
2 or 3
Is your street
times.
busy?
My street is not super busy. There's only 13 houses on the street, but we have a lot of people that come there.
They just go out of the way, don't they, to come to your house to get candy?
No, but they come down the street, for whatever other reasons that they got. Like they go to a friend's house and they come back over. But the people that come down our street are well rewarded.
I was going to say, my
Pretty good.
father-in-law...
I bet you
You
give
know
out
what? I don't
pennies
get...
or something. You're
Yeah.
probably the worst.
You know what? I'm not even...
Toothbrush.
Nobody even comes up to my house because I'm
A
so far off the
toothbrush,
beaten
that's funny.
path. Nobody trick-or-treats where I live now.
Unpackaged candy corns. What do you give out?
Well, I would give you pennies, yes. I mean, if I could
Thank you.
find one, I would just have you wait at the door.
You're the worst.
No.
Sandra
Nobody
Fluke
comes to my
is
door.
going to dish out condoms.
There you go.
Oh,
You're probably the house that I come back to later and TP.
I used to give out, when I actually lived on a street that people came down. No, I used to go out and buy, and I would do like the 2-pack, because I love Reese Cups, so I would do like a 2-pack. But I will say, my ex-father-in-law, he's deceased now, they used to go to Sam's and buy full-size things of candy bars, 4 packs of Reese Cups, big, huge thing. And they'd let the kids, each one, they'd be lined up to the street. They had... It was like tiers, steps down.
I knew somebody that would give out cans of pop.
Really? It's like a.
Yeah.
Oh, I like trick or treating for beer.
We did this.
Yeah.
We've done this several times. We had to go somewhere, like take our kids someplace else. We've put a bag or a basket of candy and said, take some, but not too much. And you know what? It's worked.
Yeah.
The honor
No way.
system has worked. You know, people like you, Garrett, that take it all.
They just sit there and eat
The honor
it.
system doesn't work with me if I
But-
see an empty or a bowl.
By the way, if you're curious, and I don't have the Cincinnati neighborhoods in front of me, and I apologize for that. Boone County trick-or-treat today is 6 to 8 p.m. everywhere, including Williamstown and Grant County. Campbell County is 6 to 8, but Bellevue's 5:30 to 7:30. Cold Spring, 6:30 to 7:30. Highland Heights, 6 to 7:30. They only give you an hour and a half, cheapskates. In Kenton County, everybody is 6 to 8. Bottom line, it's generally 6 to 8. Where does it like in Ohio? Anybody know?
Yeah, I mean,
6 to 8.
I'm sitting here looking at it. Claremont County is 6 to 8. Hamilton County is 6 to 8. Kind of doing around. Everybody's pretty much.
I
6
want to
8.
see my little Riley and little Reagan
I
come
bet.
over.
What are they
They
gonna-
went to the mall last night. The Ford's Mall had some kind of a trick or treat going on. They said the place was packed.
IKEA was the
Really?
same way. There were kids in IKEA trick-or-treating.
She
What
was
are they
a,
going as?
she was a little cow. I don't know what Reagan is. Riley was, but get this. Riley last year had this turkey outfit, and it's awesome. I mean, it's like a really fancy, and she still fits in it. And I want her to wear that to Thanksgiving. She looks so cute in her little turkey. I'll post it on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to see. What? How do you spell Riley? I have a little sister named
Rylee.
That's how we do it.
Yep.
But that's probably not the most common way.
My brother Seth is Riley, and it's Riley, but it was a
Well, if it's a boy.
family name.
Yeah.
Family name.
That's my little sister's Riley. Ryle.
How old is she?
15.
Oh, okay.
You know, Halloween is a neat holiday because the kids enjoy it on trick-or-treating, and then, of course, like we demonstrated on Friday night, it's
a
also
party for
great for
parents.
adult party, too. You don't do that in Christmas. I'm glad I decided to have an annual Halloween party than a Christmas party.
You know, Fort Thomas has a fundraiser in February for the school systems, and they dress up. And it's just something that, and each year they do a different theme. It might be back to high school or wigging out or TV Land was one year. And it's a lot of fun because, you know, you don't have that hassle. So, of getting everybody else ready, you can have
Who
fun.
likes hassle? Nobody. There's enough
Nobody
hassles in
wants
this world.
Yeah.
Too much red tape and bureaucracy already in the world.
You know, there are a couple trick-or-treat, like Lebanon is 5:30 to 7:30. There's only a couple, like Turtle Creek
That's-
Township, 5:30 to 7:30.
People don't get off work.
Too early.
Six
Right,
is,
right.
I think 6:30.
Everybody
might
else
even
is
be
pretty much
better.
6 to 8. There's very few. Southgate is 5 to 7, so that's a little different. You know, they could start in Southgate, go for an hour, and walk into Fort Thomas because Southgate, and then they could go right up the hill and continue on, get an
See,
extra hour.
We don't know what we're looking forward to in Dayton, Kentucky. I don't think there will be that many. I bet you for the first half hour we might get some, and then that's it.
There's
You guys like Airheads?
no. There's rumors out there that due to the Barack Obama economy, there's going to be like a decrease, like 75% of the households cannot even afford to give out candy.
Yeah, they're
I don't know.
lights off tonight.
I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but it's all Barack Obama's fault that Halloween's being suppressed. If you're an Ohio voter, remember that. Obama hates Halloween, and his economy has hurt Halloween. People are having to give away things like toast without jelly.
Okay.
Can't
Throwing
even give out
toast.
pennies.
You can't even give pennies out, man. I mean, that's how bad it
They've
is
already
out
had to take
there.
them to Kroger's and put them through the cash machine.
Have you ever got anything like really goofy? I've never got anything really goofy.
In my trick or treat,
I have a trick-or-treat in
coupons. You ever get
Priscilla.
the Frisch's coupon when
Oh,
you were
yeah.
younger, Jake?
Yeah.
Those were like
You know, there's a big
you'd egg
difference.
their house later. Who else?
Dog, between when you and I trick-or-treated to now, there's a big difference. I couldn't even remember anything. back then.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, American jury, I got to tell on Jake and Garrett. I said, I like that Howard Cosell clip. Quote, who is Howard Cosell?
Who?
Unbelievable.
Must be some old guy.
It's
Some
in
old
Howard
dude.
Cosell Sports.
If he wasn't born after.
All right,
the
ladies and
90s.
gentlemen, American jury, have a great Halloween. Have a safe Halloween. We'll be back tomorrow with Radio Superbity. And as always, every dog has their day. I hope today is yours. I hope tomorrow is yours too. And I'm off to take a deposition of a doctor who gave somebody dermatology cream without taking tests. The guy's blind. My client's blind now. Sad story. I love you, Bulldog Nation. This is George Harrison. What is life?